Sanje Juda Sovi Chamamba Chanchuvado Kanye Kyatsuchi Dage Chenso Gibe Sonangye Dora Tenju Sangye Tuparashu Sangye Cheda Sovi Chamamba Chanchuvado Kanye Kyatsuchi Dage Chenso Gibe Sonangye Dora Tenju Sangye Tuparashu Sangye Chedam Sovi Shonana Chanchu Bado Dane Kyatsuchi Dage Chenso Gibe Sonamki Tola Tenshi Sangye Druparashu. I go for refuge and turn and legend to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My accumulations of gratitude and so forth. May I become a Buddha, the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn and legend to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My accumulations of gratitude giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha, the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn and legend to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My accumulations of gratitude giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha, the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay. Continuation from where we left last this morning. Okay, one is about the present moment. You explore the present moment. You just explore the present moment. Am I really experiencing? You have to be very serious. You have to be very serious. Don't go into the philosophy. Don't go into philosophy means when we say, am I really experiencing it? So there, just be your true self. Am I experiencing it? Yes, I'm experiencing it. This is how we have to know. The moment you start like this, the moment, am I experiencing it? Or this, if you start like this, like illusion, no, like this, you will never experience emptiness of mind. Finally, the solidification of the mind is happening every time we see the mind. It is happening. And this solidification of mind is the worst of all the grasping, self-grasping ignorance. Self-grasping ignorance of the self, self-grasping ignorance of the mind, self-grasping ignorance of the flower, self-grasping ignorance of other things. Of these, the worst is the self-grasping ignorance of the mind. And if you just start, if you don't start very seriously, if you start by saying, oh yeah, maybe it's just what the there's nothing really this present. If you start like this, you will never see the emptiness of the mind, the emptiness of the present moment of the mind. If you don't see that, then this is greatest loss. Particularly coming in contact with the teaching on emptiness, and this, if it puts off you from seeing the emptiness of mind, this is a great loss. So therefore, always start with the same, as I said, the real philosophy. The best of the philosophy is when you get to the philosophy through a natural thinking. Natural thinking, invite the questions. For example, say the way in which we interact, question answers. Invite questions and give answers very honestly from how it comes to your mind, naturally come to your mind. And then that is rejected by the reasoning. That is rejected by the reasoning and the logic. Again, invite more questions. And then you see that mind, what I call the natural perception of the world, is deceptive. This is how we discover. Otherwise, we never get emptiness. And even after following the points very clearly, still, at one point, you may get a feeling that, okay, yes, I'm getting emptiness. And then you simply do the same practice, the other days, nothing is really happening, experiences, no the goosebumps coming, no tickling sensation coming. Earlier I used to have that, now nothing's happening, it's so mechanical. It could be sometimes very demoralizing, sometimes a little uplifting, sometimes neutral. It's not that easy. Okay, so the point is always start with your natural thinking. That's very important. Okay. Then the next point, which is so important, is Okay, which is extremely important, meditation on the emptiness of the mind. The another version is, the first question that we did is analyzing or looking for the present moment of the mind. You cannot find the present moment of the mind, and it's quite scary to go like this. Yes, I'm undeniably experiencing the present moment. My mind is undeniably experiencing the present moment of the gong, present moment of the sound of the gong. But what is that? If it is, yes, it's undeniable experience, then present moment of gong, sound of the gong, cannot be longer than like half a minute, because this is reality, actually for half a minute. It can be shorter than like say 1/20th of a second. The moment it is the duration of our mind process for ordinary people like us, the process of mind, within do shorter than the 1/20th or 1/50th of a second, our mind does not have the capacity to grasp or register. We do not have that capacity. So that way, we see that the duration cannot be shorter than that, cannot be longer than half a minute. It's somewhere between there. And that duration, once you get the duration solid, let's say, take it 1/20th of a second. Say 1/20th of a second. Then, what you do is that we look for the present moment, because this is a duration, time. Time is of a length. Length means beginning, middle, and end. And we are only focused on the present moment. We are not focused on the past and the future. We just ignore the past and the future. We are only interested in the present moment. And this duration has a beginning, middle, and end. And for example, say, when I ask you, okay, think on the present moment of the sound. When I tell you that, you're not supposed to think of the sound of the 2018. Why? It was past. You're not supposed to think of the sound of 2020. Why not? In the future. So you're looking for only the present. Present, not mixed with the past and the past and the future. So with this, whatever experience that you have of the present moment, the sound of the gong, you try to narrow it down to a time, a particular time. The moment you get a particular specific time, okay, not longer than half a minute, and then not shorter than, say, and the way I think Albert, Frank, and Sophie, you found it that it's so difficult, and the others also. The Cecil, you also said difficult, and you said Mark, difficult, and Jane, difficult. Okay, who said that it's so difficult to find it? Raise your hands. Okay, Laura, and the Isabel, Thomas. Thomas is very easy, 2 minutes, right?
My
Deception, right? So your perception deceived you to see two minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that when you find it difficult means, that's very true. It's not that easy. I told you it's not that easy. It's difficult. Okay. With this in mind, so what you have to do is you have to logically fix a time, because what you said is undeniably you have experienced the present moment of the sound of the gong. Undeniably. Undeniably means I have experienced the present moment of the sound of the gong. Present moment. Present moment, not mixed with the past, not mixed with the future. All these things must be made very clear into your mind. Only if this becomes very clear, then experience the emptiness of the mind will become very clear. So the past moment I'm not going to include, because 2018 I'm not including it because that's past. And I should not be thinking about the gong, sound of the gong, or 2020 because that's future. I'm only interested in the present moment. And again, if you become a little vague, again hit the gong. Again feel the present moment. Again you will feel it, present moment. Undeniably you will feel the present moment. In this present moment, did I mix to 2018? No. Past, 2020? No. Future? Only the present? Yes. Now this present moment, which is so vibrant and so alive with me. So this present moment, what's that duration? Yeah. Again try to observe it. Let's say you keep it for 10 seconds. It cannot be longer than 10 seconds. It cannot be shorter than, like, say, 1/20th of a second. Because beyond 1/20th of a second, your mind does not have the capacity to grab. The mind is the object duration is so sharp that we cannot grasp. For example, what I showed you on the piece of paper. You cannot grasp at it because why you could not grasp what is on the paper, what is written on the paper. Why?
Fast.
Because it was so fast. Because the duration is too short. Answer to a different answer.
My mind is too slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which means, okay, yes. I showed it too fast. The duration is too fast that your mind cannot grasp it. Your mind goes slow and you cannot grasp at it. You register it. You cannot register it. Which means that it cannot be, but I heard it. Did you hear the sound? Present moment. Could you hear the present moment, the sound? Yes. Undeniably. This word, undeniably. To make it very dramatic, undeniably. Which means that, yes, I heard it. Yes, it's so real. Okay. Now you analyze this. There's a specific time duration of of course, the more than 1/20th of a second, shorter than 1 minute, half a minute. No, let's say 20 seconds. We kept it just for 20 seconds. Pick up any time. Say, it's like the fraction of a second. Okay, Cecil said fraction of a second. What do you mean the fraction of a second? Try to consolidate it. Try to make it very clear, precise. 1/10 of a second. Be it 1/10 of a second, whatever time that comes to your mind, then we see that this time duration is time. Because it is time, it is a beginning, middle, and end. Beginning is past. We are not to include the beginning. We are not to include the past. Don't mix the past with the present. We are only concerned about the present experience. Present moment of the sound of the gong. Remove the past. Beginning. And the end yet to come. That is future. Don't include the future. Because you are only concerned about the present. Remove. So whatever time duration that you said is not that full time. It's 1/3 of that time. If there is present moment, there's 1/3. It's not the full time. Even this 1/3 of that time, again it is time. It's the beginning, middle, and end. Beginning is gone, and the end is yet to come. Again 1/3 over 1/3. You keep going like this, it will become much shorter than one, or let's say 1/100th of a second. 1/100th of a second, our mind cannot grasp. Impossible. So, from this logic, we see that our mind literally did not experience the present moment of the time. Present moment. And what I felt as a present moment of the sound of gong. What is that? Because it is logically not possible. It's logically not there. So what I experience is just illusion. It's just illusion. The more you do this exercise, the more you do this meditation, analytical meditation, clearer it will become that what I experience as a sound is illusion. Okay. The way we found, for example, yesterday you watched a movie of the leaf and eventually with the atoms. When you see that on the chromosome level, the leaf disappeared. There's no leaf. The whole concept of the leaf disappears. And when it comes to the atoms, whole concept of the chromosome disappears. Leaf disappears. Right? Where's the leaf? It doesn't make any sense. No way. You can't. The moment you go into this level, impossible to find the leaf, impossible to find the chromosome. So what is the earliest source of chromosome? It just appeared. You getting it? It just appeared. Undeniably it appeared. But it's not there from the object. So what's the option left? It appeared but it's not there from the object. So what's the conclusion? It's just the mere appearance. You getting it? Appeared, nothing from the object there, therefore it's just a mere appearance, like a mirage. Likewise, the sound of the experience of the present sound of the gong. Experience of the present sound of the gong. It appeared to my ears. Did it appear to your ears? Did you hear it? Yes, which means that you have the perception of the sound. But from the object, it's not findable. You go into this analysis, it's not at all fine. Logically, it's totally illogical to say that I've heard it. So, you go deeper from the object, you cannot find it. Like this, with this analysis, you cannot find it. But you undeniably heard it. So that is merely heard, merely perceived. Merely perceived means perception is on the subject or the object? Subject. What you perceived as a sound of gong, present moment of sound of gong, that's just your perception, it's just your subject. So the more you do this analysis, more you realize it's just coming from the subject. Okay, now initial experience, whether emptiness of the flower, emptiness of the self, emptiness of the sound of gong, emptiness of the time, emptiness of the mind. What happens is that initially you see that yes, things appear so solid from objectified from the object. One. Number two, with this analysis, you see that it's not really there. Two, you don't see the connection between the two. Object is undeniably there. Number one. The object is undeniably there. Like the sound of the gong. I'm undeniably hearing the sound of the gong. Okay, object is there. And then when you analyze this, it's not really there. So you cannot connect the two. You cannot connect. Connect means object is there. It's not from the object. Therefore it's just coming from the subject. It's just the mirage. It's just like an illusion. So this conclusion doesn't come to us easily. So for us to come to this conclusion, it will take a little time. It will take a little time. You have to keep practicing this, keep practicing this. Why this conclusion is not coming? Is because of a chronic illness of the self-grasping ignorance. Chronic illness of the illness of objectifying things. Because of this objectification, chronic illness of the objectification happening. Therefore, our mind is not ready to say that it's coming from the subject. And you do it more often, gradually then you come to, it has many layers of experience, different layers of experience will come if you keep doing this exercise, keep doing the meditation along with extensive studies. So the key is extensive studies. Otherwise, if you don't engage in extensive studies, to do this meditation, initially is quite interesting, quite exciting, and you may get some experience, you may feel that yes, that's not really there. And then you keep doing this exercise, keep doing this meditation, over time it will become like a mechanical, that all the steps follow, but experience-wise nothing is coming. Earlier when you were in the Kalachakra Center for the retreat, you meditate on this, some tickling sensations come to the body sometimes, and some tinge of fear comes also, and a little bit of haziness also comes. This and that. Wow, it's amazing, very powerful meditation, very profound teaching, right? And then you go back, and you start doing this again, 2 times, 3 times, 1 week, 2 weeks, and slowly, nothing really there. You just do it very systematically, all the steps are followed, and nothing really, no taking sensation, nothing there. It's like a table quarter, it's very mechanical. Okay, at times do you feel so demoralized? It can happen. What you're doing sounds like fruitless at times. For that, how to save yourself from that problem is by engaging systematic studies. So therefore, wherever you are in Kalachakra Center, or you are from the Nalanda Monastery, or you're from the Bodhicittas Center, or from wherever you are, always do some course. and pertaining to emptiness, like this book is particularly compiled for that purpose. Except for the first 45 pages, the remaining text, compilation of text, they're all just for that purpose, to activate the experience of emptiness within the individual. So therefore, just keep this book with you, and always, if possible, try to don't read too much. This book is very different from other books. Don't read like 20 pages a day. Don't do that. And then later on, because it's so heavy, you will not feel the heaviness. You want to get everything together, right? And then your mind will feel the tiredness. The moment your mind feels the tiredness, just by seeing the book, you just feel like staying away from the book, right? This happened to you. So in fact, what happened is I'm sharing my own experience. The great treatise of the Lama Tsongkhapa is Lamrim Chemon, the great treatise of the stages of Path Enlightenment. In English, 3 volumes. In Tibetan, it's huge one volume. So, while His Holiness was giving teachings, then I was marking all the important points. Important points meaning which I saw as important points, which I need to reflect more later on. And then, instead of reading all the books, I just went through only the challenging parts, so that I was so ambitious that it suffices reading the whole Lamrim within one day. Because I'll go through only the complicated parts. I did it, and when I go through the complicated parts, I did not get stuck, because I studied all the philosophy, logic, all these things. Only thing is that the subject matter-wise is very heavy. Oh, reflect on the point. And then the second time I was to go to the point again, my mind says no. My mind is pulling back. Then I realized that it was too heavy. It's not that easy the way we think that that the way we think to be as so ambitious, that does not really work. So what you do is that take your time. Don't be too ambitious. Say, read like 2-3 pages a day. That's good enough. Maximum 5, not more than 5. And if you feel really tired, you can read like 2 lines or 3 lines. Even that is fine. Your job is done for today. Read 2 lines and keep it there next to your bed, and then you sleep. Okay, otherwise you read like 1 page. Every day do like this. Meanwhile, your brain, your mind is being activated. The wisdom of emptiness is being activated. This mind, intelligence is being sharpened. Okay, this is how we should improve. Okay. Now, the next step, the emptiness of the mind. Emptiness of the mind. Okay, just as the flowers, just as the flower, self, we see this, we subject the self to ultimate analysis through the 6 elements, 5 ingredients. And the flower in the ultimate analysis through the cells, chromosomes, atoms. This is how we did. Likewise for the mind. This morning we discussed about the temporal sequence of the mind. Temporal sequence of the mind. Okay, now this is related to is here, the second meditation. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's say. Okay, let's say. This is an extremely helpful exercise practice. And Sophie? I, Tashi, M, Patrick, Bear, Jane, Ree, Thomas, Ann, then Charles, Hare, Mary, P. I am very unhappy. Okay. So imagine that, imagine that the Venerable Kunjala asked us to work so hard to prepare for the soul offering on 13th, right? 13th? Soul offering for the 13th. And he made us work for 3 hours without giving us any biscuits, cookies or cakes. 3 hours he made us work. And we feel so hungry. And Venerable Elizabeth comes, hey Kunjala, did you not even give her the cake? Oh no, I forgot. Venerable Elizabeth said, don't worry, bring cakes. So we all get the cakes. Then you realize that there is a one box there. In that box, from the sound like this, you hear some sound. From the sound you can make out that there's somebody there in the box also. So just as we are very hungry, the person inside the box must be also very hungry. So you bang at the door, bang the box, the carton, bang the box and ask, how are you? You ask, how are you? No. Never mind. You take your time. Okay. Louder.
I
Ve
we
and
P.
Oh, what do you hear? Okay, the rest of us, hey. We all bang the box and say, how are you? Because you are very hungry. You ask the person, hey, how are you?
I
Ve
we
and
P.
Okay. What did you hear? Others, tell me, what did you hear?
I'm very happy.
I'm very unhappy. Did you hear it or you hallucinated? All others, did you hear this or you hallucinated? You heard it. You heard it. Okay. Then you opened the box and you found that, hey, and so you are unhappy. So no, who said I'm unhappy? I'm very happy. I just said I. And the trashy, you must be unhappy. No, I'm very happy. I just said and. Right? Patrick, you may be unhappy. No.
Ve
I just say where? Where? Where is unhappy? Where? Or maybe Jane, you are unhappy. Then you said something. You said I'm very unhappy. No, I just said re. And then hey, Thomas. Huh? You're unhappy. No, you said just Then Shao. No, Shao is very happy. He said hey. And then maybe Mary. Mary said no P. Not P. Who said I'm unhappy? It's just P. I just said P. Finish. Right? Okay. Then you start to doubt. Oh, I heard it. Maybe I was hallucinating it. Right? Then again you bang the walls and ask, how are you?
I
Ve
we
and
P.
No, shall you say hey? Okay. Again, you bang the box. All of us, you bang the box.
I
Ve
we
and
P.
What did you hear? Again, you heard somebody said I'm unhappy. So I must be hallucinating. Then you check with your friends around, right? Amina, did you hear somebody saying I'm unhappy? Yes, I heard that. Amina, you heard it? Yes, I heard it, mine. Yes, everybody. Okay, it's not hallucination, right? But you go there, nobody said it. Nobody said it. Okay, this is how our mind works. But you undeniably heard it. What you heard it was not said by anybody. What you heard it was the individual words. Individual words you heard, your mind put them together and give them one entity. Put them together, give them one entity known as I am very unhappy. All together, then the feeling is feeling low, feeling Look very happy. Yeah. Okay, so the point is, this is how our mind works. This is how our mind works. There is no one entity, there's no one person who said that I'm unhappy. Likewise, when you say, I'm very unhappy, look, this is a very important now. How many of you had experience of being unhappy in your life? Raise your hand. All of us. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. When you had experience of unhappiness, what was happening was, who was saying this? Your body saying this, your mind is saying this, that I'm unhappy. Your mind is saying this. Okay, now listen. Your mind, which you felt unhappy, which is actually made of 7 moments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which actually made of 7 moments of the mind. First moment of the mind said, I, and then left. Job is done. First moment of the mind said, I, and left. His job is done. Left. And second moment of the mind came. Right? Second moment says, okay, my job is to say am and then left. The remaining moment are yet to come. And third moment of it comes. Oh, what is my job? Patrick. Where? No. Oh yes. Where? And then left. Right? And the next moment comes. Jane comes. Your next moment of mind comes and said and left. Right? Remaining mind is still yet to come. And then the next moment comes no. And then left. The next moment comes and left. And the final last moment comes P. Last moment did not feel the I am very unhappy. Last moment just felt the P and left. No moment of your mind felt where I am very unhappy. No moment. Besides this moment, there is no one mind called as I am unhappy. All these moments, they don't arise simultaneously. If they arise simultaneously, we can say that this is the together. No, they all arise sequentially, which means that your mind should arise sequentially. And no one point at one time said that I am unhappy. Now what happens is that your mind put all these together, which did not actually arise simultaneously. Your mind just put them all together and create an illusion that I am unhappy. Okay. Don't forget this. Likewise, okay, when somebody says that you are the troublemaker, right? You are the one who creates all the problem, and you feel so angry, right? You feel so angry. Okay, don't react. Go to your room. Go to your room, sit calmly, and do a little bit of breathing meditation. Let your very gross agitation subside. Once it subsides, then analyze this person. This person exists in time. Who said, you are the troublemaker, right? You are the troublemaker. You are the troublemaker. How many moments are there? You are the troublemaker. Again 7. 7, right? Okay, 7 moments are there. So what's happening is that this person exists in time. This person exists in time. This person exists in time. And when this person said, you are the troublemaker, he said that in time. Time means it's made of temporal segments. It's made of temporal segments. First moment his mind said, you. What's wrong with it? You are nice. You're good. You're neutral. There's nothing wrong with it. You. And then say left. First moment of the mind left. Then second moment of the mind came. Said R. What's wrong with the R? There's no problem. Again left. Third moment of the mind came. Trouble. Trouble? There's no trouble. Right? Trouble? There's no trouble. There's trouble. Right? Trouble does not mean trouble. Trouble, it can accompany any other word. No trouble, yes trouble, less trouble. Again, it doesn't make any sense. Then maker. Maker means good maker, happy maker. Very good. What's wrong with it? Real problem is not that person, it's my mind, which puts all these words together, and I create an illusion that you are the troublemaker. I create an illusion. I'm the one. My self-grasping ignorance is one which solidifies all these 7 moments of the mind as one entity. Give a label, one entity. From the object, there's no one entity who says that you are the troublemaker. It's my mind with my self-grasping ignorance which solidifies all these 7 moments of the mind into one entity. We said that you are the troublemaker, and then you feel angry. Otherwise, if you work on that, the reality from the object, there's nothing there for you to be worried about. Instantly, your mental agitation will subside. Okay, this is one thing. This is extremely important. One. Then the number 3, number 2. Same number 2. Number 2, put it in exactly the way we do with the flower, the sun, so forth. Then you can say the mind. You have to learn how to experience the mind. What exactly is mind? To at least, not necessarily a very clear picture of the mind, but at least like, okay, now I'm unhappy. Okay, I'm happy. Okay, I feel a little heavy. I feel a little tired. So this feeling, this mind, the mind, this you must be able to observe it. You learn how to observe it, and you can learn it. That's not difficult. You can learn it. Just observe the mind. Once you're able to observe the mind and you get it, okay, I'm feeling a little heavy today. So this mind as a living, present moment, very fresh, very living mind. Undeniably, yes, undeniably, I'm feeling a little low, I'm feeling a little heavy, and undeniably I'm feeling agitated because he said something, she said something, right? I feel agitated, I feel so unhappy. Okay, what do you do? Go to your room, don't do that. Go to your room, close the door, sit on a cushion, and while the mind is very aggressively agitated, this meditation will not work. So what do you do? First, let this very gross agitation calm down. Do a little bit of breathing exercise. Breathing. Take deep breaths. Focus on the breath. Just focus on the breath. Forget about what the other person said, what you thought. All this, just forget. Just focus on the breath. Distracting myself with the focus on the breath. Focus on the breath. Just take a deep breath like 7 times, 21 times. And because the mind and the energy, the breath, energy, is so very closely connected. The moment you focus on the breath, automatically your mind will settle very quickly. Once your mind settles quickly, then you can think more with a greater sanity. Then you focus on this person, the person who said, you are the one who created all the problem, right? You are the one who created all the problem. Okay. In French, how would you say? Okay, in French, usually when you have some kind of problems, what kind of words do you use? Huh? Okay, in French, not necessarily in French, individually. Say when you have some problem with somebody else, the other person they abuse you, accuse you, or criticize, or whatever. With what kind of words? Anybody?
Pest. A pest. Somebody who bothers you is a pest.
No. What I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is that in what way the vocabulary is words used to fight with you or to accuse you. No, French. You know French? So good French. Thomas? No, Thomas never fights. Okay, anybody who has some problem? Or you have a problem with the other, or other have a problem with you? No one? Yes.
Vous êtes stupide.
Non. Non. Ce n'est pas ça.
No, no.
Very harsh words in French. You should have.
Okay, let's say a little mediocre. Tell me, anybody? Okay, yes, Virginia. What is that?
It's harsh.
No, it doesn't matter. What is that in English? In English. Okay. Troublemaker? Troublemaker? Okay, yes. Okay, so what I'm saying is that whatever words usually somebody says, these words are nothing but expression of the mind. The mind thinks it that way, that is expressed in words. You getting it? Okay, so it's a mental process. Now when whatever happens, say your mind is agitated, your mind is hurt, you feel hurt. You feel hurt. And sometimes, oh, some people somehow, right, they are so expert. They say, you say any word to somebody that the other person has without any thought process, just very sharp, and just attack you very easily, right? The way I said earlier, say, how are you? How are you? Right? Are you my doctor? How are you? It's very fun. It's nice. Are you doctor? Are you my doctor? Where are you going? Are you my spy? Right? You say anything, there's a problem. Okay, so these, when you feel hurt, one is step number one, method one, method two. I already this is with you. Now number three. Okay, what is that hurt like? This hurt, just the feeling of heaviness, corrosive feeling. So like the whole body inside, it becomes so heavy, congested at the heart, becomes so heavy. Okay, stay in this experience. Try to feel that. And of course, the gross one, you have to calm down through the breathing meditation. Calm it down. And then later, once you are calm, once you feel calm, then try to feel that. Try to feel that. The mind, not the body, the mind. Just feel that mind. And this mind, okay, let's say I'm experiencing for 1 minute. Okay, let's say 10 seconds. This 10-second duration of the mind, what's that like? Yes, it is like this. Yeah, I could feel it and it's quite heavy. Then you try, okay, then you go, this mind, 10-second duration mind, it actually existed in 10 different seconds. First second, second second, third second, fourth second, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10. Okay, this is how it works. It's not that the 10 seconds come together. They come sequentially, 1 second. Even the first second, if you really experience something as yes, it's so heavy, that should not be longer than 1 second. Because the first moment, the second moment is yet to arise. You have not experienced that. When you experience the second one, the first one is gone. First one is past. It's not what you're experiencing it. And the remaining moments are yet to experience. Just the second moment. And even the second moment, again, we see that it's not like suddenly it comes up. Again, it has it can be divided. It is temporal segments. Temporal segments you can divide it any way you like. The first second, the second second, you can divide it into 10. You can divide it 100. And if possible, use your timer. And timer, 1 second is divided, usually most of the timers that 1 second is divided into 10 or 1 second is divided into 100. If you look at how the 1 second is divided into 100, your eyes cannot possibly catch that. This is how it moves so fast. This is how our mind moves so fast. So that just 1/100th of a second of the mind arises, and not this huge chunk of the mind. No, huge chunk of mind does not arise simultaneously. Just 1/100th of a second of the mind arises. 1/100th of a second of the mind that arises, The remaining are yet to arise, or the earlier ones are already gone. This is not what experiencing. What experiencing is 100th of a second. Again, that, if you can grab at it, grab at it, again you try to make it, say, the 100th second, again you do 100, again you do 100. You go like this, you may not have to go for the minute. Around this time, then put it down. 100 into 100, then you see that literally I can experience it. In fact, every moment of the mind that is arising within you, there are the minds which cannot grasp at anything. It does not even have the capacity to feel the heaviness. It does not even have the capacity to feel the sadness. To feel the sadness is the object. And your mind should be the subject. Sadness you must be able to register that. You cannot register it. If you get it, the moment you get it, instantly the sadness will disappear. Instantly. Instantly sadness will disappear and the mind you will feel very light. This is amazing exercise. Instantly, believe it or not. You get it, instantly you feel that the sadness disappears. Yes.
But are you not ignoring like physiological processes in the body that can affect the mood at the same time? Because like if something is causing us sadness, then that's going to affect our hormonal imbalance or something like that.
Sadness affecting the hormones, or hormones affecting the sadness? Generally speaking, conventionally speaking, it is the hormonal imbalance that then triggers. For example, say somebody said that you're a stupid guy. The moment you said it, right? Somebody told you this, and he said, "I'm a stupid guy." Instantly, the stress hormones, they're released. They're released, and then these hormones make you feel physiologically. They will make the muscles and all these fatigue, and then that is interpreted by the mind as sadness or the heaviness. Hormones affect the physiology. Physiology affects your mental state, and then mind feels sad. Initially, he said that I'm stupid. There is no sadness. Then that affects the brain. Then it instructs the hormones to flow. Hormones, they make the muscles and all these things fatigue. And then you feel heaviness, and that is interpreted by the mental consciousness as a sadness.
You can't necessarily change the hormonal imbalance so quickly, can you? Like within.
It can happen very fast.
No, but to reverse it, I'm saying you can't necessarily reverse it so quickly. Once.
Oh no! That don't let us not speculate. You don't have to speculate. Do it and feel it. What you can do it, don't speculate. What you cannot do it, then speculate. There's no choice other than speculate. For example, if I eat, okay, I'm very hungry. What should I do? Oh, eat some food. Are you sure that eating food will remove my hunger? Yes, of course. How do you know this?
I hate.
How do you know this? No, I've experienced it, but how can I say your experience will tell you with mine? Right? Your job is first eat it. First eat it, and if the hunger doesn't go away, come to me. You're getting it? What you can do, don't speculate. How the body reacts, how the mind reacts. They are so fast. Sometimes it can be slow, sometimes it can be very fast. You're getting it? Okay, so this is a very effective part of the meditation. From this, at times, look, warning given. Usually, statements are made and the disclaimer is there. Disclaimer is there. Okay, disclaimer. Particularly, unlike meditation on the emptiness of flower, unless meditation on the emptiness of self, meditation on the emptiness of mind is very scary. If you get it, it's very effective at the same time. Initially, it's very scary, right? Okay. By the way, even to reach to that level of the scariness, and it requires a tremendous merit. If you don't have this much merit, you may not even reach to that level, right? Okay, so the one given is that in case, we never know who is who, I cannot judge it. In case, by doing such meditations, particularly meditation emptiness of mind, in case, okay, by doing it like, let's say, 10 times, within that span of time, if suddenly there's a tremendous fear, overwhelming fear, if it is overwhelming, then stop it. Stop it. Whereas if it is not overwhelming, but a fear is there, quite intense fear, you can handle it. Don't worry. This is a very good indication. You are very fortunate to feel that fear. You continue to practice, and if the fear is increasing all the time, then stop the meditation for the time being. You will meditate on emptiness of flower, emptiness of self, emptiness of your friends, emptiness of the place, and so forth. You can stop the meditation emptiness of mind for the time being. Then, as your meditation on the emptiness of the other objects become more stabilized, then you can again go back to the meditation emptiness of the mind. Okay, yes, Sean?
Ce que vous dites dépend de l'état d'esprit au moment où on écoute cela. C'est-à-dire que si on est très heureux, on est dans la joie, si on nous crache dessus, il n'y a pas de problème. Mais si on est déjà dans la souffrance, c'est trop fort.
So sometimes when someone says something to us, something wrong, if we have already some kind of sadness, then it becomes very big. C'est ça? C'est ce que tu dis, c'est pareil. Si quelqu'un nous insulte, par exemple, qu'on est déjà un peu triste, un petit peu dans le travail, et c'est là qu'on surréagit.
Oui, ou si on a la joie, on prend à la légère.
Instead of that, if we feel quite happy when someone says the same thing to us, then it's okay. We can take it easy.
Okay, so dealing with the people treating you in a harsh manner, this can be done in two ways. One is by meditating emptiness, others by meditating compassion. And what is the practice the steps which we are doing? This will be extremely effective. Extremely effective, but experientially you will see the difference. How the compassion practice, what is the practice, helps to make this very easy, tackle it very easy. Tackle it very easily, you will not make a mountain out of mole. And with the wisdom of emptiness, it is very effective in a very different way. These two are very different experience. But you must practice both. Okay, so with this, the meditation emptiness, Lama Tsongkhapa gave us a very important advice. Advice given is twofold. One is that when you meditate emptiness, with all these indications, like some indications like a teachable fear coming in mind, or a tickling sensation coming in mind, cold waves flowing through your body. So such indications come. You're very fortunate. But it doesn't mean that you got emptiness. You may got it, you may not got it. Right? Nobody can be only if a very experienced teacher who really is very clear with all these levels of emptiness and then talk to you, may be able to see which level you reached. Otherwise, generally speaking, very difficult others to evaluate. So the best person to evaluate that is yourself. How? By studying extensively. Only if you study extensively, then you'll know, this is the emptiness, the first level of emptiness, second level, third level, fourth level, fifth level. You are the best person. For that matter, don't expect that the moment you have it, automatically you can judge. You cannot judge. For that, you have to prepare yourself. You have to study the tenet systems. Tenet systems will be very helpful. Very helpful. That's going to be the greatest of the mirror mirror for you to see where you experience your emptiness across the first level, the second level, third, fourth, fifth. Now the advice given by Lama Tsongkhapa is that after getting this experience of emptiness, seeing that from the object, it's not really, nothing's really there. It's all coming from the mind. The moment you get that experience, try to retain that experience in the spirit. But it doesn't mean that the functionality stops. Even you see emptiness directly, the world will continue to operate. World still operates. Okay, so the only difference is that when you, with respect to you, you see the world's operating not on the object. World's operating on the subjective level, not objectively, but subjective. World is still operating for you. You see that, but subjectively. Subjectively meaning like illusion. So with this awareness, not losing this awareness, then you are advised to engage in the virtues, making persuasions, doing sadhanas, generosity, ethical discipline, patience, enthusiasm, all the virtues you do in the spirit of seeing them as like illusion. Okay, so for example, generosity. Okay, in the first place, I'm also illusion-like. I don't exist subjectively. I'm like a mirror. And what I'm giving is also illusion-like. And the person, the recipient, the beneficiary, is also illusion-like. So, the illusion-like person is giving illusion-like gift to the illusion-like beneficiary. With this awareness, we advise to engage in the virtues. For example, making prostrations, and then say the doing sadhanas, prayers, and so whatever virtue that you do, you are advised to do that in the spirit of seeing things as illusions. With this awareness, with this mindfulness, that is all illusions. Number one advice. This is very precious advice given by Lama Tsongkhapa. Then number two advice given by Lama Tsongkhapa was this advice was from the Lamrim Chamo, the great treatise on the stages of the path to enlightenment. Of the 3 volumes, the third volume on emptiness. On the third volume, you will see this advice given there. Now, the second advice, which I found so inspiring, I think one of my venerable teacher, Geshe Damdul, when he was giving the teaching on the Lama Tsongkhapa's commentary on Nagarjuna's text, when he was giving the teaching on this, more like oral transmission, then somewhere in the middle of the text, commentary by Lama Tsongkhapa, we came across that passage, that advice, and I saw that as so important. And of course, it's so precious. So the advice given by Lama Tsongkhapa there is, so that the second piece, which I'm sharing with you now, it comes from Lama Tsongkhapa's commentary on Nagarjuna's text. That the commentary is now available in English. The title of the commentary is Ocean of Reasoning. In Tibetan it is the Geshe Damdul. In Tibetan it is Geshe Damdul. In English it is Ocean of Reasoning. Commentary on the Nagarjuna's fundamentalism of middle way. Okay. In this, the advice given was that after meditating on emptiness, when you get a glimpse of emptiness, to see that, okay, it's not really there from the object. It's not really there from, it's like illusion. Because sometimes, particularly for the beginners, when you meditate on emptiness, generally speaking, or the beginners, then they say even the perception of the environment may change. Perception of the environment may change for like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It may change. For example, how you see, for example, say somebody, okay, in a normal way, and then because of that experience, you may start to see the person slightly different. Okay, this experience will come to you, okay. But Lama Tsongkhapa warned that don't feel infatuated with these experiences. Don't feel infatuated, and it can be very gross, but all this very gross, at the same time is very precious. In other words, he's advising us to be in the middle way. It's gross. Gross also means that ignore this. This is very precious. Very precious. And at the same time, don't be overly zealous to see that no, Arvya is emptiness. No, it can be very gross. Right? So your job is, what do you want? You want to stay there or you want to go deeper? Of course, it's better, wiser to go deeper. You want to go deeper? Go for more extensive studies. Okay, with this, what advice he gave is that once you start getting some experience of the emptiness, of objective existence, emptiness, then you try to relate this emptiness with the dependent origination, concept of dependent origination. Relate this experience, emptiness, with the concept of dependent origination. How? This is next question. Okay. So he taught, whenever you come across any understanding of dependent origination, there are 3 levels. What are they? Okay, complete. Dependent origination of the results, dependence on causes. What's number 2? Dependent origination of the poles, dependence on the parts. Very good. Number 3? Dependent origination of
Nomination. Designation.
very good. Dependent origination of dependence on mere, this word mere mental designation. Mere mental designation. 3. And whatever level of dependent origination you come across, you experience, you see, you hear, you experience, relate this dependent origination with emptiness. This is advice Lama Tsongkhapa gave. Okay. I'm sure you have your own experience. Your own experience of like this. Say, okay. Say, I'll share my experience. Then you will also relate. You will be also able to retrieve some experience. I lost my mother when I was 5 years old. Then we were taken to the school, and then for about like 3 or 4 years, this young boy, age 5, then 6, 7, 8, okay, more or less forgot about the mother. And then the class teacher, during the inter-class Tibetan song competition, the teacher taught a Tibetan song. The moment the teacher sang this song, just this young boy, after 3 or 4 years of having forgotten the mother, suddenly the song was a very crude song, a village folk song. He was to teach this song to us for the inter-class competition, Then he sang this song, and suddenly whole my body just went into some form of, say, the vibration like this, become so nostalgic of the mother. Why? Because this was the song which my mother used to sing when she used to sit on the border, in a very remote village, border, and 3 siblings, me, my brother, my sister, 3 of us, and I was the youngest, so I got the privilege of sitting in the center of my mother's lap. So she would just cuddle all the 3 children, and she would sing the song. This came to my mind, and this moment was the most memorable, most beautiful moment in my life. Then my mother, I have no responsibility, and my mother was taking care of all the responsibilities for me, and just giving such a security, such a you feel warm there, cuddling us. So it's a beautiful moment. And then this young child, while still in need of those moments, cut off from those moments for about like 3 or 4 years, and suddenly this song was sang, and then just I couldn't control my tears. So what happened? This song and that experience, that very beautiful experience of being the mother, these two are linked. These two were linked when I was young with my mother. These two were linked. Later on, when I heard the song, this experience with which the song was tied, the song was sung, and this experience also comes along. Because these two are bound together through my early experience. Likewise, Lama Tsongkhapa advises us that the experience of emptiness must be bound with the experience of dependent origination. So that later on, whenever you think about dependent origination, emptiness should come to you. So why this is important? Lama Tsongkhapa said that teachers to teach you dependent origination, you will meet with many teachers. Lama Tsongkhapa said that you will meet with many teachers who will teach you dependent origination. Even physics teaches you dependent origination. Even the biology teaches you dependent origination. Even simple mathematics teach you dependent origination. Dependent origination in mathematics we talk about the sets and subsets, right? Sets, subsets. And then in physics we talk about the reaction and action and reaction. Opposite equal action and reaction. And then in biology, how the plants grow by depends on the causes, dependent origination of the cause and effect. This is so you will meet with, and not only you meet with teachers, even the small things you see that, but depends on this is happening. This is what you will encounter. You're bound with encounter with you in your life so many times. Now, whereas to meet with the teacher to teach you emptiness is so rare. This is what Lama Tsongkhapa said. To meet with the teacher to teach you emptiness is so rare. So in your future lives, we never know whether we're going to meet with the teacher to teach us emptiness. So for that matter, even if you don't meet with the teacher to teach you emptiness, but people who teach you dependent origination, you will meet in numerous. So because that you learn how to connect dependent origination with emptiness, and then next time, in the next life, somebody teaches very gross dependent origination, emptiness will come to your mind automatically. This is an advice given. So, and he gave the example. That was around the time of the Buddha, there was one Arahat. Oh, by the way, what is Arahat? Anybody? Thomas?
People who get the illumination with the help of a Buddha.
Okay, what is Arhat? Anybody? Rashida?
Basically, part of seeing, one switch part of seeing.
Part of seeing is Arya, it's not Arhat.
The T from the
Very good. Somebody who reached Nirvana, somebody who achieved Nirvana, somebody who achieved the fearlessness, of samsara, or who eradicated the self-grasping ignorance, who eradicated the afflictions, who eradicated self-grasping ignorance, that is Arahat. In other words, who is free from samsara, that's Arahat. Okay. So at one point, there was some Arahat. I think Arahat Katyayana. He was giving a teaching to a group of the disciples, and there was one on the ascetic. One ascetic who was just roaming here and there, and he saw that this Arahat was giving teaching there. What teaching was he giving? He was giving a very simple teaching on Four Noble Truths, a very simple Four Noble Truths. And then he took part in this teaching. He just sit there with other participants. And then this Arab was teaching on a very simple, the dependent origination of the first level of dependent origination. What is the first one? What is the first level of dependent origination? Dependent origination of the results dependence on the causes. So he was just giving the first level of dependent origination. And this ascetic, he realized emptiness. Although the teacher was not teaching emptiness, he was just teaching a very gross dependent origination. And he realized emptiness. Because he was used to meditate emptiness with the help of dependent origination in the past lives. So now this teacher was teaching the dependent origination. He could easily link this with emptiness without even the teacher touching on this topic of emptiness. Okay. So the second session, the next session we will do on the manual, meditation, sample of the meditation manual. Yes. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhiswatyata